Mike Caneen standing by live out in front of Inova Fairfax Hospital, that huge facility in Fairfax there, which was locked down for quite a time this morning, Mike.
Dave, basically 6 hours ago is when this all started at just after 3 a.m. today. Right now we are seeing normal operations, although frankly I was just inside the hospital, and while there are normal operations, you see doctors, nurses, staff, visitors roaming the halls, there are some operations that haven't gotten underway or behind schedule, some surgeries being rescheduled, but what we know at this point is that the focus of the police activity, while earlier this morning we saw a barricade of officers holding rifles and squad cars blocking these entrances all around this campus, all of that police activity appears to have been moved to another part of Fairfax County as this manhunt continues. That man in custody, Wosan Asaye, somehow broke free of the watch of 2 private security guards. We know at least one of them struggled with him, that he was not handcuffed at the time, and he has somehow managed to grab that security officer's gun. Again, these are private security officers who were contracted out by the U.S. Marshal Service in an agreement with the Alexandria Sheriff's Office. Now, Asaye had been jailed in the Alexandria City Detention Center on federal charges for armed bank robbery, and he was booked there on the 21st of March. Then on the 27th, almost a week later, on Friday the 27th, he was brought here by those sheriff's deputies, the Alexandria sheriff's deputies, to the hospital for injuries that he suffered while attempting to harm himself, reportedly attempting to commit suicide. That medical treatment continued through today, and during this time, Friday into Saturday, that watch was handled by the Alexandria Sheriff's Office, sheriff's deputies. Then they handed over part of this agreement with the U.S. Marshal Service custody to security officers contracted by the U.S. Marshal's Office. Now, as a result of this man escaping and this manhunt, there are multiple law enforcement agencies coordinating today. Earlier this morning, not just Fairfax County Police leading this investigation and this search, but also Virginia State Police. We saw Metro Transit Police. Park Police had a presence here earlier today. Now we're seeing some law enforcement moving down here on Gallows Road, moving southbound, and they are moving in the direction about 3.5 miles south of here is in Annandale, where that vehicle, we were told, was stolen. The suspect vehicle, described as a 2002 Toyota Camry, a silver vehicle with Virginia plate XZP 8513. Again, Virginia plate XZP 8513, and that car is described to have front end damage. And as I was saying, down in Annandale, maybe an hour if you were doing it by foot, maybe 10 minutes or so if you were doing it by car, is where that scene of that stolen vehicle was. And our Jeanette Reyes is there collecting more information. She'll have more on that in a moment. But essentially here at the hospital, life is getting back to normal. We're not seeing much police presence, but Fairfax County Police saying they're keeping a close eye on this entire area. Earlier this morning we saw helicopters circling overhead time after time for a few hours in a row. At this point it's much quieter here, but still a sense of anxiety, uncertainty about where this man might be. That's the latest live in Falls Church. Mike Caneen, News Channel 8.
And Mike, we heard from the police chief that they wanted to talk to this man's family, his friends, even his girlfriend, and they even released her picture. What are they looking for?
It's a very interesting decision by Fairfax County Police. A couple hours ago, they tweeted out an image of this woman that they say is the girlfriend of Wosan Asaye. They did not include her name in that release, and despite repeated questions from our news organization and others, they have not released that, and for some reason won't release that. I just reached out to them again to see, you know, is she suspected of committing a crime? Why did you release her image? But police did tell us that they are concerned that this man, whether it was coordinated or not, intentional on his part or not to get out today, that they're concerned that he may try to reach out to them, and that may be a lead in their search for this man. And they're also saying the same about his family, who also are said to live in the area. So I think that's just, they're just covering their bases perhaps, but we're not getting more details on who that woman is or the status of this relationship.
Yeah, the Associated Press is also reporting, too, that earlier today, a man who identified himself as Asaye's father answered the phone at an Arlington home, but declined to speak to the reporter as a voice in the background told him to hang up. So clearly, again, these pieces of the puzzle that we've been talking about for the last half hour or so are all starting to come together.